What's going on, guys? Dottz Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you all my brand new Stamina Templar PvP build for the Dragonhold patch of ESO, and this is the Lights Rage build. So basically, this build is just the Dragonborn build from Scalebreaker put on the Templar for Dragonhold. I really like the mobile, high damage, 2H, and bow, medium armor playstyle, and I wasn't really enjoying how it was playing on Dragon Knight anymore, just simply because of the changes to Dizzying Swing. The Dizzying Swing kind of made that playstyle for me on that class, but the build works perfectly well on Templar, since Templar does not need Dizzying Swing, so I was able to maintain that build and maintain that feel that I like from that build on this character. Plus, with the nerf to Fortified Brass, the Fortress build essentially died, so I needed to put something new on my Templar anyway. So if you like high mobility, high damage, then this is going to be the build for you. If you guys would change anything up about the build, though, feel free to go right ahead. This is just what I've been running and what I've been using and what I like and what has been working for me. So, getting right into it, we are using, of course, 2 pieces of Bloodspawn. Bloodspawn is just an amazing monster set. It gives so many classes, like everything they could possibly need, especially on the stam side. You know, you got stamina recovery, ultimate generation, extra resist for more mitigation. It's great in every way, especially combined with the fact that we are in Nord. Bloodspawn gives us really respectable ultimate generation to allow us to get to those ultimates much, much faster. It's just an amazing 2-piece monster set. Of course, a set that I run on Templar basically all the time, I think last patch was the first time I didn't run it, was Bone Pirate. Bone Pirate is such a good set for Stamina Templar. It really helps out a lot. Gives you a ton of max stam and a ton of stamina recovery as long as you're using a buff drink, which we are with Dubious Camoran Throne. It's just a really good set. Gives us damage and the effect of the stamina. Gives us tons of extra sustain on top of that. It's just a really good set, and is always been one of my all-time favorites for Stamina Templar. Just really gives you a ton of additional sustain. And then our other 5-piece set is going to be Hunding's Rage. So we are using, it's got 2 lines of weapon critical, a line of max stam, and a line of weapon damage for the 5-piece. Now, I actually do still like Hunding's Rage. I know some people are going to be like, why would you not use New Moon Alkalite? As you can see, with our jabs up, we have a very respectable 44% crit. And now that Backlash can crit, getting Backlash crits is going to increase your burst a shit ton. It's going to give you a lot of damage if you get a crit on Power of the Light. So I actually really like the 2 lines of weapon critical from Hundings. I know some people are like, oh, well, you know, you can run other sets for more damage. And while it will be more weapon damage on paper, being able to have that chance for the extra crit from Hunding's Rage on that Power of the Light, in my opinion, is very valuable, and I think something that many people are undervaluing. And I know many people ask, why would you not run New Moon Alkalite here? New Moon Alkalite, in my opinion, is not a set that you use when you are trying to go for decent sustain. New Moon Alkalite is something you lean into when you want to go full, all-out, pure damage, and you're not giving a crap about your sustain. You know, I tried it on the PTS in this slot, and I actually had to put in a recovery glyph in order to make it work. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I may as well just stay with Hundings because of the benefits that it provides. So I'm still preferring Hundings here. If you'd like to use a different set on this front bar, be my guest. Any damaging 5-piece on this front bar of your choice will work perfectly fine. This is, again, just what I like for the reasons that I stated. And then on the back bar, we are running the Master Bow. Master Bow enables a ton of damage via poison injection. Just, again, increases the damage on our primary target by an absolute shit ton. We get an infused weapon damage glyph plus the actual bonus from the caustic weapon set. So that is a whopping 753 weapon damage spike against our target, which is incredibly powerful. Now, in terms of traits and weights and everything, I believe I'm running 2 heavy. Yeah, 2 heavy and 5 medium. We are running all impen. I still have 1 Divine's Piece, but it should be all impen. And then we are going to do 3 prismatic and 4 stam glyphs. We are running triple weapon damage, triple protective. I still really like the protective for this. I know protective was kind of nerfed a few patches ago, but I still think that the protective combined with being in Nord gives us especially combined with Bloodspawn, gives us more than respectable resistance for medium armor and helps keep us alive in this bursty meta. We also do use a Nirnhoned 2H Maul on our front bar. The Maul is incredibly important for our burst. I don't think Axe or Sword are worth it by comparison, and the Maul, in my opinion, is just significantly better. In terms of enchant, I don't recommend running an enchant on the front bar. I would run one of two things. You could either run double dot poisons to help stack up the Power of the Light even more. You could also run vulnerability poisons. For no CP, I really like pure drain stam poisons to help you with your stam recovery. So basically any poison of your choice on the front bar, and then like I said, that infused berserker glyph is what you're going to be wanting on that back bar. Now in terms of skills, of course we have biting jabs. Just, you know, you jab your enemy a shit ton. Each strike reduces your movement speed of your enemy by 40% for a second, and also grants us major savagery. So very, very good skill. Is the Templar spammable? It's just, there's not much to say about it. It's just really, really good. It's cheap, deals a lot of damage. Really, it's just, you know, procs burning light. It's just very, very good. We also have Power of the Light. So Power of the Light basically will copy all damage taken that they take from us for 6 seconds and release 20% of that additional physical damage to them. And you can copy up to a maximum of 20k damage, and they'll also be afflicted with minor fracture and breach. Also, another reason we do run the Maul is because we don't have major fracture, just because there's no room for it, so the Maul will help with that pen. But Power of the Light can crit now. Power of the Light can crit now. So when you're critting on your onslaught, you're critting on your jabs. When this pops, you can deal massive, massive damage to your target if you've already crit inside of the Power of the Light, which will help stack it up to its max potential. And then if this crits, you're just going to be dealing absolutely bonkers amounts of burst damage to your opponent if you can charge this up really, really well. Sorry for the sniffing, by the way. I'm sick, so I'm still trying to get these videos out. So we do have Binding Javelin. Binding Javelin is our stun and ignores our enemy's resistance, so it basically just deals 6k true physical damage and then stuns our enemy for 4 seconds. Just a really, really good stun. They buffed this, and I really like the pure damage on this. It gives it a little bit of an interesting effect, something unique to it. But it's just a very, very good stun, and it is my preferred stun of choice. We are using Rally as our primary burst heal. I've never liked forward momentum on Stamina Templar. Never, never, never. I always use Rally. It gives us minor endurance, which is a little redundant since we run, Repentance. But the main thing we use this is for the major brutality and for the big heal when we refresh this. And it is our primary burst heal. It is absolutely amazing. We use Repentance for sustain in open world and BGs. Using this will give us health and stamina for each corpse that we consume nearby, and it also gives us minor fortitude, endurance, and intellect, increasing all of our recoveries by 10%. So it's just a very, very good skill to have slotted on that front bar. We have Onslaught as our main burst ultimate, still better than Dawnbreaker, in my opinion, even after the nerf. Deals a shit ton of instant physical damage and gives us pure penetration for 5 seconds afterwards. Being that the 5 seconds is it's a little short. I mean, I still like it just because of the way that it works with Power of the Light. If I was on another class, I might consider using I think it's Berserker Rage, I think is the name of the other morph, probably. I think it's Berserker Rage, yeah. It would be worth considering that, but I still think Onslaught's worth it for Stamplar specifically because if you go into, you know, Power of the Light, you jab them, you hit them with the Onslaught, your jabs now for the rest of the Power of the Light duration will basically deal pure damage. So that is really important to get Pottle as stacked up as physically possible to give you the biggest ending execute burst as possible. So I still think Onslaught is worth it for that specific reason. Still a very, very good skill. We have Poison Injection as our primary dot on the back bar. Also procs our Master Bow. Not much to say about it. We use it for proccing Master Bow. We have Extended Ritual. Extended Ritual is our incredibly powerful cleanse, combined with giving us a nice heal over time afterwards, scaling with our highest offensive stats. It's a very, very good skill. It's what makes Templar Templar. It's one of the best things about being Templar for both Magicka and Stam is having the super powerful cleanse. It is our only Magicka skill as well, so we are able to sustain casting this very frequently, pretty easily. We also use Vigor. It's our main hot. Not much to say about it. It's just a hot in the build. We use this for our Restoring Focus. We use this for our resistance buff, so it gives us physical and spell resistance. It also gives us 240 stam every second, so an effective 480 stamina recovery just for casting this, so it's really, really good. And then if you're standing on your rune, you get 50% increased physical and spell resistance. We use Shuffle for our Root Break. So Shuffle is my favorite Root Break from when I play medium armor. It's really, really good. So it gives us Major Evasion, which is a huge defensive buff. And then we also get 5 seconds of Snare Immunity whenever we cast this. So it allows us to stay really mobile on that back bow bar. You shuffle into a dodge roll, and then you're able to move unimpeded at full speed for 5 seconds. And then we have Remembrance as our defensive ult on the back bar. Also gives us some good utility for our team. So if we're near any teammates that are dying, we can cast Remembrance and give them some nice healing. In terms of other stuff, we are using the Warrior Mundus, Dubious Camoran Thrown Food. Potion-wise, we are using Immovability Pots. So it is immune to knockback, disabling effects, health, and stam. And stat-wise on our front bar, we are at 11.4k maximum magicka, 18.2k maximum health, which I believe puts us just shy of 25k in PvP. 33.7k maximum stamina. We have 1759 stamina recovery, almost 3,500 weapon damage, 34% unbuffed weapon critical. We saw the buff value earlier. Almost 23k unbuffed spell resist, 20k unbuffed physical resist, and this should be 3k crit resist once I get my proper traits and everything. In terms of our champion points, we are looking at 23 points into Blessed, 81 into Master at Arms since Jabs is now direct damage, 56 into Precise Strikes, 35 into Piercing, and 75 into Mighty. We don't run any into Thaumaturge anymore, since technically Jabs is not a dot anymore. 66 into Ironclad, 58 into Resistant, 37 into Thick Skin, 43 into Hardy and Elemental Defender, and 23 into Quick Recovery. 61 into Warlord, 31 into Sprinter, 75 into Moocalf, 37 into Tenacity, and 66 into Tumbling. In terms of the general rotation, I kind of explained it earlier. You want to maintain Restoring Focus, you want to maintain Shuffle, and Rally at all times. Those 3 skills always, always, always need to be maintained. Let me move these around because this is just how I like to play. So these skills always need to be maintained. On your target, you always want to maintain Poison Injection for that Master Bow. Then you want to go into, optimally, let's say you have your full burst up. You want to go into Power of the Light, Javelin, Onslaught, Jabs, jab them at least once before you do that combo, though, just so you have the Major Savagery up. So again, it would be Power of the Light, Javelin, Onslaught, jab, 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 and then that Power of the Light should go off and they should die, and then Remembrance their corpse. Defensively, the big thing you want to do is refresh your Rally, go into a dodge roll and shuffle so that you can move unimpeded, and then if you need to, Vigor and Cleanse. And that'll be an absolute monstrous amount of healing on your character. But that's it for me, guys. That's a pretty straightforward build. Very, very fun to play. It's one of my favorite builds, one of my favorite styles to play. It works really, really well on Stamina Templar this patch. So I hope that if you guys do try this build out for yourselves, that you do enjoy it a lot. If you guys like the build, please smack a like on it. Any questions, leave a comment below. And for more great gaming content, please hit that sub button as well as the bell to keep notifications on. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. As always, I'm Dottz Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one.
those ruts!